I didn't think I'd see Ghoti performing anytime soon, but it's back. And is that Buster Blader? Yes, it is, along with some other goodies. Don't beg 30% of you that have not smashed the ever-living crap out of that subscribe button. Smash it so you guys don't miss out more awesome content. Fresh off the top 16 at a regional here, we have Ghoti sporting off the Mini Aruka here. When a monster effect is activated, a quick effect, and special summon this card from your hand, you can banish one face-up fish, sea serpent, or aqua monster you control. Target one face-up card on the field, negate its effects. Oh, well, guess what? We can go ahead and, now that we banished all these stupid cards, we can go ahead and stack them up for the triggers on... Yeah, the interactions are pretty cute for this deck. And of course, we play the Mini Assault Mode package in here as well. Oh man, this is cute. So we have triple copies of Ash, Blossom, and Joy Spring, with 2 copies of Space Rock. We have 2 copies of Divine Carnate, triple copies of the Lifeless Leaf Fish for extending options, triple copies of Paces, 2 copies of Ixeep, 2 copies of Snopius, 2 copies of Schiff, and then we have 1 copy of Enoch, 2 copies of Zep, 2 copies of the Mini Aruka, triple copies of Psy Reflector, 1 Assault Beast with 1 Terraforming. We have 1 Talents with triple Thrust, triple E-Telly with triple copies of the Most Distant Deepest Depths. We have 1 Dimensional Bear, 1 Assault Mode Activate, and 1 Ghoti Chain. Down in the next deck, we have 1 Area with 1 Abyss Keeper, 1 Ching Ying with 1 Ice Jade Geimer. Then we have 1 White Aura Dolphin, 2 copies of the White Aura Whale, 1 copy of the Spear of the Ghoti, 2 copies of the Ghoti of the Deep Beyond, 2 copies of Ascan, and then triple copies of the Iron Pius. And then we have 1 Space Rock, 1 Divine Carnate, 1 Feather Duster with 2 Talents, 2 DD Crow, 2 Dimensional Bear, triple evenly matched, and triple copies of Lightning Storm here, wrapping up your little synchro innovation for kind of one of the more interesting takes that I've seen out here for this deck. Good stuff. Next up here, we have Buster Blader synchro good stuff. Now, from what I understand, functionally for this, what this deck wants to do is your Bysteals are just kind of free stepping stones. Assault Stardust is going to be one of the biggest things that you're really going to see for this deck in terms of getting it off the ground for what it wants to do in terms of combo ability, which I actually think is pretty good overall. Do keep in mind that, like, the Buster Blader package is meant to just lock your opponent and kind of laugh at them. So, we have triple copies of Ash, Blossom, and Joy Spring. We have triple copies of Effect Healer, triple copies of the Giant Space Rock in the Sky. We have 1 Brotar with triple copies of Stardust Synchron. We have 1 Stardust Tail with 1 Converging Wolves Dragon. We have triple copies of Buster Whelp, 1 Buster Blader, 1 Lubellion with triple copies of the Power of Bysteal Magna Hut. We have 1 Baldrake with 1 Druisworm, and we have 1 copy of Snoraneer. Then we have triple copies of Tuning, 1 Branded Regained with 1 Arrive in Light. We have 1 Stardust Illumination with 2 copies of Talents. We have 1 Branded Beast with 1 Prologue, and 1 copy Destruction Sword Memories, along with triple copies of Infinite Permanence. Then we have 1 Striker Dragon, 2 Heretic Seals, 1 Beatrice, 1 Formula Synchron with 1 Omega, 1 Borreload Savage with 1 Cheng Ying. Then, of course, 1 copy of the Ruddy Rose, 1 Baron with 1 Shooting Majestic Star, 1 Stardust, 1 Excel Synchro, 1 Buster Dragon, and 1 Buster Blade of the Dragon Destroyer Swordsman. Then, of course, triple copies of Lancia, triple copies of Contact Sea, 1 Feather Duster, 2 Lightning Storm, triple Dimensional Bear, and triple copies of Evenly Matched here, wrapping up your Buster Blader-esque synchro pile. I think is really the best way to go about looking at this pile. Next up here, we have Purrely Kash here. Now, take a moment to process the concept here. We just recently saw a Tier Elements Kash tier, or excuse me, a Tier Elements Purrely deck see a little bit of success in the OCG, and then you come on over here, you blink at the metagame, and you're like, what in the world are we doing here? Well, I mean, all these spell cards do kind of facilitate a little bit more like Zeus Turbo. This part of the deck is just going to be the more unfun aspect of things, so that you can kind of punish your opponent. This version of the deck only kind of gets better as, you know, the next wave of support for Purrely comes out. So kind of keep that in mind. So we have triple copies of base Purrely with triple Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. We have triple copies of Kash Fenrir with 1 Scareclaw. Then we have triple copies of Unicorn and 1 Rice Heart. Then we have 2 copies of My Friend Purrely, triple copies of Delicious Memory, triple copies of Happy Memory, triple copies of Pretty Memory. We have 2 copies of Birth with 2 Theosis, 1 Terraforming with 2 copies of Raceloth, triple copies of Prosperity with your 2 Talents, 2 Thrust, and 1 copy of Big Bang. Then we have 1 copy of Red Ice Flare Metal, 1 copy of Diabolsis, 2 Kash Shingriera, 2 Arise Hearts with 2 copies of Nor. We have 1 Expertly Happiness with 2 Plump, 1 Happiness, 1 Beauty, and 2 copies of, well, the thing that we're going to try to laugh at our opponent with. Then we have triple copies of Dimension Shifter, triple copies of Divine Carnate with triple Droll and Lockbird, 2 copies of Dark Lord No More, triple copies of Lightning Storm, and 1 copy of a Pointer of the Red Lotus here. Wrapping up, well, I would say one of the more innovative choices that we're kind of seeing here in terms of your format development. Once again, this just proves how good Kash is. The fact that people are sub-delegating engines into this deck and they're working is the best part. Next up here is, this is Despia sighting into Kash tier. Okay. This went 5-0 at its VIP qualifier. And take a moment to think about this for a second here. We talk about how absurd, you know, Kash is as an engine, and once again, I mean, you're seeing more of these engines being dedicated into this deck, and just go ahead and side into it. No, right? You know what? We got DP in here as well that you can make with this deck. I don't even know what to say. Purely Kash and now Despia siding into the deck. All right. So we have triple copies of Aluber with 1 Tragedy, 2 copies of Fallen of Albaz with 1 Albion. We have 1 Blazing Cartesia with 1 Dasher and 1 Celestial. Then we have triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. We have 1 Dark Magician with triple copies of Branded Fusion. We have triple Branded Opening with, of course, triple copies of Fusion Destiny. We have triple Fusion Deployment with triple Thrust, 1 Branded in Red with triple copies of Crossout. We have 1 Foolish Burial with 1 Called by the Grave, with 1 Harvey's Feather Duster. We have triple Imperm with 1 Branded Banishment, triple copies of Evenly Matched. We have 1 Retribution, and of course 1 Expulsion. Then we have 1 Shingriera with 1 Arise Heart, 1 Dark Dragoon with 1 DP. We have 1 Guardian Chimera with 1 Proskinian, 1 Dragostapelia with 1 copy of the Grand Gondola. We have 1 Masquerade with 2 copies of Mirjade, 2 Lubellion, and 2 copies of Albion. Then we have triple copies of Unicorn, 2 Fenrir, 1 Rise Heart with 1 Jizno. We have 1 Gimmick Puppet Nightmare, triple copies of Raceloth, 1 Kash Theosis, 1 Birth, 1 Terraforming, and 1 Dimensional Barrier here. Wrapping up, well, how much can we side off for the really weird innovations out here? And then the last list we actually have here is Gishki. We're actually playing Gishki with no Sprite? Okay, that's interesting. So we took out one of the most consistent parts of the deck here, just so that we could try to do Gishki interactions. Now, Neuramesis is actually still a pretty cool card, in my personal opinion. Neuramesis' entire life purpose is to detour the opponent and laugh at them for really about as much as you can. And I think that this is still an incredibly good engine. So we have 2 copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring with 2 copies of Beautiful Princess. We have 1 Pinkertops with 1 Droll, triple copies of Gishki Abyss with triple copies of Grimness. We have triple copies of Gishki Shadow with triple copies of Vision. We have triple copies of Noramis. And then we have 1 Book of Eclipse, 1 Book of Moon, triple Crossout Designator with triple Aquamere. We have triple copies of Gishki Aquamere, 1 Protomere, triple Pot of Prosperity, triple Evenly Matched, and 1 Infinite Permanence. Down in the next deck, we have the 1 Zealantis, 1 Almirage with your 1 Miss Starboy, 1, 2, 3 Coral Anemone, 1 Lingeribo, 1 Nightmare Phoenix with 1 Cerberus. We have 1 Iria with 1 Abyss Keeper, 1 Gustav, 1 Herald of Pure Light, 1 Downard, and 1 Zeus. Then we have 1 Ash, 1 copy of the Gagi Gigobite, 2 Droll and Lockbird, 2 triple Kumungus, 1 Called By, 1 Necromere, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, 1 Dimensional Barrier, triple Goza Match, and 1 copy Awe here, wrapping up your chunk of interesting goodies out of this video. So what do you guys think about a lot of the innovations and things that are kind of starting to spin around here? Please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.